Hello everybody, the Utopian Duelist here, and today I am profiling my Pendulum Magicians that I got in the top 32 at the Tulsa Regional here this last Saturday. I told a lot of people there that wanted to see this deck profile that I would get it out yesterday. I apologize for that. I was just exhausted, and I just kind of wanted to lay around and do nothing. So, yeah. Anyway, so before we get into this, I placed 31st with this in spiral/handtrap.meta, playing no hand traps, no summon negation, and no board wipe. So I'm actually really surprised with how well the deck. I expected it to do well, just because this build it's so flexible. It can get around pretty much anything at that point. It got to the point of the day where I was literally letting Spiral players go first, just so I could break their board. I won all my Spiral matchups except for the Spiral matchup I had at table 2, and then that was just by a hair. And then I won my ABC matchup. I actually ended up going against Zephra's, a pretty good Zephra deck profile. So yeah, let's get into it. Sorry for multicolored sleeves though, because I am doing that tournament Tuesday, so a partial bit of this is for my Dracopal deck because it's a Scrub League tournament and they won't let me play Pendulum Magicians because they're in the meta right now. So I am using some of my Wavering Eyes because I'd rather play my supers over a place at a common. So I'm using my Wavering Eyes in a counter-free Dracopal build, which is another deck I've had on this channel before. So go look at that, and I might be, if it does good tomorrow, if it gets me undefeated like I usually go at that tournament, then I'll probably profile it because I'm actually pretty excited. It's pretty consistent. I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, into the profile. I played 3 Astrograph. I saw some people cutting this. I don't know why. This is always my #1 search target off of the Time Star Magician and basically anything. So I always just hit the Time Star, add this, pop my Black Fang or whatever to special summon back, hit this, add, and just keep going and just abuse Black Fang, Double Iris, and Astrograph Sorcerer just on the max level that I can. So next up, of course, 3 Wisdom Eye, great card. This is one of my favorite cards to use. I've loved this card since it came out, and I really wish before this Pendulum support came out, the Magicians were a little bit more relevant. And when they got the Joker back to 2, they made a little relevant spree, and I played him for a little while, but I was playing Dracopals in between that because I love me some Pendulum deck. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. That's supposed to be back here. One sec. Lol. Anyway, I play 3 Double Iris because who doesn't like adding a trap that can, if you set up your board right, pop 1 and send 1 every turn while putting cards in your graveyard to make stuff like Zark or for Black Fang. So, yeah. Black Fang because who doesn't like continuously special summoning shit out of the graveyard and cutting your opponent's monsters down to 200 attack after all of it's done? You know? Because that's not broken at all. Purple Poison because if you run into that point where you can't get the trap out, or you can't set up your Time Star, or you need to make a decode talker so you can put something else on board, like a Babushka or something like that, then this really helps because this is still getting you your pretty much pop 2 that you need. I just called the Time Star Time Pendulum Graph combo the pop 2 anyway. Even though one of them is technically a send, and when I'm dueling, I do make that known that it is a send, but I always call it a pop 2 on deck profiles and shit. So this basically gets you that because you just use the trap card, pop this, and then this resolves outside of the chain to pop another card on the field. So you're pretty much just wrecking their life. And then while it's in scale, you can activate it when you're a Dark Spellcaster type monster. That means really any Dark Spellcaster type monster that you have battles. You can pop it. You get to pop that monster or another card on the field, and then the monster gains 1200 attack also for the the attack gain is pretty much this, or the destruction is pretty much just the attack gains activation cost, or however you would say that, and then you just get to pop one on top of it. So that's pretty good. I'm even playing this because in the Dracopal build, because I play 2 Harmon and 2 Purple Poison, just because I figured those were the 2 I could get away with playing. And I already talked about the person who's holding the tournament, and they said I could play like a small, like a very, very like under 5 card Magician engine. And I figured the trap card engine wouldn't be consistent enough at that point, so I'm like, all right, just board advantage for days, because Dracopals already have a little bit of trouble right now doing that, just because of their problems with with the extra deck and not being able to like Pendulum summon more than one out of it. So there's that. We have Perform Pal Skullcrobat Joker. I only played this at 2, and I get a lot of weird like comments about this, like, why are you playing it at 2? That's stupid. It's one of the best search cards like in history, and I'm like, because I don't want to open multiple. Like, it's that fucking simple. When you're going against spirals that are playing like 9, 10 different hand traps, plus fucking summon negation, floodgate, whatever the fuck you're playing against, and you open 2 of these, that's just one less card in your hand that you're gonna be able to use this turn. Like, and I get people saying, why don't you just save it for next turn? I'm like, next turn you'll be fucking dead. That's not how Yu-Gi-Oh works right now, and it's kind of annoying, but I'm still doing pretty good. I'm kicking the shit out of spirals, and they just got their what is it, adjusted ban list, emergency ban list, whatever the fuck they call it right now. So they just got that. I think it was announced today. And Drone got hit to 1. Quick Fix got hit to 1. Set Rotation got hit to 1, and something else got hit to 1. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I'm playing 2 Luster because who doesn't like opening up Luster and either Purple Poison or Double Iris? You just like Luster, Double Iris. Luster pop the Double Iris, add the trap, or I'm sorry, I usually add the spell, then I activate the second Double Iris I get, and then I Wavering Eyes, so I get the add off of the Double Iris, the add off of the Star Pendulum Graph, and I get the add off the Wavering Eyes, and then this is in the grave, and then I usually have Astrographs in hand too, so even more cancer. 2 Harmonizing Magician, because who doesn't like a 1-card Xyz, Synchro, or Fusion? Even with what I play, I make Fusion occasionally. Just depends on what the situation is and how I need to wreck it my opponent, you know? So I just realized I'm doing this like down here. I need to do this up here. Anyway, so yeah, basically. And actually, this card's Pendulum Scale effect, where it gives your attack, like monsters on field, it gives them 100 attack for every magician in the extra deck with a different name. That actually helped me get game multiple times, because yesterday, I don't care. I was just like, I was going balls deep the entire day. Like, I was letting spirals go first so I could break their board. I was taking every Max C challenge that was dropped on me and OTKing. Like, I was not afraid whatsoever. And it paid off. I did really well yesterday. So there's that. And it actually helped a lot with the OTKs, because I always had a bunch of shit stacked in the extra deck. I played 1 Time Breaker. I saw this so much yesterday, and it helped me out so much. And if you guys don't know what this does, because it's not like one of the relevant magicians, basically it's a Psyframe Lord Zeta. So you banish this card, and then one of your opponent's monsters until is it the end of the turn? Okay, it's the next standby phase, so it's basically like it's basically a Psyframe Lord Zeta exact. So that's the next standby phase. Anyway, so Oath Dragon Magician, because Oath Dragon, it helps you get so much advantage back. And then it's always that scale that you just leave on field for your Time Pendulum Graph target. And then you use Time Star to keep it from being destroyed, and then you just send 1 for free, so it's even better. I played 1 White Wing. I got people asking me why, because nobody really makes Zark anymore. I actually made Zark twice yesterday, and it won me games both times. And even its scale effect was actually relevant yesterday, so I'm pretty happy with that. Then you have Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. This is another card that people didn't know why I was playing, but if you don't know what it does, Basically, you pendulum summon in defense. That was my dog barking. Why? Basically, you pendulum summon it in defense, and you, during the player's turn, it's a quick effect. You can target one monster that was summoned from the extra deck, and negate its effects for the rest of the turn. So that is great. That stops so many important things that you need to stop. Like if they go to activate their if they don't have, let's just say Spiral Case, if they don't have their field spell on board, or I've already popped it, which is something I try to do upon activation if they already have something on board. That way I can just get full advantage off of that. I will target their double helix and negate its effects, so they just don't get that, and they just have a dead 19 sitting on the board. And this is a 24 defense. They can't really do anything with it, so. And it helped me out in a bunch of other situations yesterday too, so. I played 3 Fairy Tale Luna because who doesn't like the Kieran knockoff? I wish I had Kieran, but you know, happens. It was broke, so yeah. Fairy Tale Luna, be dank. I played 1 Maxi. This was literally the only hand trap I played. Because, you know, Maxi's Maxi. I didn't play any Ghost. I didn't side any either, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't side any Ghost Ogres. I don't have Ashes, because fuck that card. I considered siding a Skullmaster, like a couple Skullmasters, because it negates effects that activate Engrave. I'm like, nah, fuck it. And I went with it anyway. Played 3 Wavering Eyes because it's fucking Wavering Eyes. Especially in the mirror match, like in the mirror match yesterday. I went off with this card so hard. I'm like, why aren't people siding this for mirror? Like, at least side like one of them, because you're not only like screwing your opponent's scales over, you're getting an ad. And I'm not talking about Pendulum Magicians for siding this. I'm talking about other Pendulum decks, like the Zephyr player. He goes like, I thought about like siding it or playing it, but I didn't think it'd be that relevant. I'm like, I mean, you do pop my scales, yes, and I do get stuff off that, but you're also getting an ad. You're getting to banish a card, and you're getting to add another copy and then do the exact same thing to me. So, I mean, why not? At least one. Like, come on, people. I played 3 Duelist Lions. I really debated on dropping it too, but Duelist Lions right now, since I got Luster back, it searches Luster, it searches Double Iris, it searches your Pendulum Graphs. It's too good right now. Of a card to take out. Before we got Luster back to 2, it was kind of bricky, and I never want to see multiples, and it was the same case with Skullcrest Joker, but I decided to keep it because I have more targets now, and it's not as useless if I draw multiples. So yeah. 2-star Pendulum Graph, because getting an ad every time a Magician's popped for 1 turn. Not every time, you know what I mean. Basically, you activate it, the Magician card gets popped, and once per turn you can add 1, and that is my dog barking again. When you just throw a deck box at the wall so your dog shuts up. Regeki, because it's Regeki. I mean, why not? And then 2-time Pendulum Graphs, because 3's too many, but 2 is just right. And God, did 2 do me good yesterday, because I was wrecking yesterday. Anyway, ignore the dog in the background. She's just staring at me and whining for some reason. I think she'd want me to pet her. Anyway. Onto the extra deck, I play 2 Time Star Magician because it's fucking Time Star. 1 Baguska, which I call Babushka, because, yeah. This card actually helped out a lot yesterday. I really enjoyed making this and just sitting on this and just building my, like, board advantage. Not board advantage, more hand advantage, you know what I mean. But anyway, just sitting on this and just having that 1 Floodgate card that I can just sit on for, like, 2 turns or until they get rid of it, and I'm just golden. Tornado Dragon, because field spells are a problem, and I don't fucking like them. Supreme King, Dragon, Dark Rebellion. This is Dark Rebellion on crack, guys. You've no fucking idea how dank this card is if you don't know what it does. It's basically Dark Rebellion, but instead of taking all of its attack, or taking half its attack, it takes all of its attack. And then if you're playing any of the Supreme King Zark monsters, you can tag out like a fucking Cosmo-like tag out during the battle phase after your attack. So basically you're doing like 4k to a 0 attack point monster. They have nothing left on board. You tag out for 2 other Supreme King Zark monsters face up on your extra deck. So the two, I thought about taking in the 2 level 4s, so I could do that, but I'm like, nah, it's probably too inconsistent. I'd rather test with it a little bit more before I go to regional with it, you know. So there's that. Utopia package, because lightning is the auto out to anything that scares you. 2D code talkers, because I always need more than one, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll play 2. I don't care what other people say. I did literally the best out of my entire group that, like, of friends that I know that went down there, so they can all lick my dick. Supreme King Dragon, Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. This is so good. So good. Because basically it's a contact fusion with 2 Dark Pendulum monsters. You make it, and then you can target 1 card in either player's graveyard. That card, or this card, gains that card's effects until the end of the turn, and its name becomes that. So not only did I use this for making Zark yesterday, I also used it to target someone's Cypher Lord Omega in the grave and banish a card from their hand, but they didn't get it back because it's not on the field to return anymore. Or it's not on the field to have that effect anymore, so I'm literally just taking a card away from them. And then the one Supreme King Zark, because Zark's fucking the Supreme King, and like it's right there in the name. Cyframe Lord Omega, because you just basically take Harmonizing, summon White Wing, and then 2 of the level 4 monsters. You use the Harmonizing and the level 4 to make Cyframe Lord Omega hit a card. Then your Link Zone's open. Then you use the White Wing and another level 4 to overlay with, to detach the Dark one, because you always try to make it with the Dark so you can use Black Fang as much as possible, and then make, Time Star, add an Astrograph, and then during your next standby phase, this comes back, and you have a 28 and a 24 on board, assuming it's still there, which if you're playing the deck right, it is. Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, because when you make this, it's pretty much fucking Black Rose. It hits the field, destroys all your opponent's face-up monsters, and then when it attacks, why do my animals have to be so loud today? And then when it attacks, it can destroy the monster before damage calculation and inflict that monster's attack as battle damage to them. So, dank. Ignister, because a non-targeting shuffle back. I got so many people like try to argue with me on this, like yesterday whenever I make an Ignister, and I'd go pop my purple poison to shuffle something of theirs back, and they'd be like, no, that targets, and no, it doesn't. It's different. That's why this card got around Dark Law. That's why it was a thing. And then you have Beals. So yeah, Beals is pretty much just Beals. I'm not gonna worry about the extra deck or the side deck, because it's not really, it's player preference. Plus I didn't really prepare it for anything. So anyway, guys, like, subscribe, you know the rest, guys. See ya.